Welcome to Futureproof Business. Smart strategies, real insights, and tools to lead and scale in a fast-changing world. Let's future-proof your success.
Welcome to Inspired Impact Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Rosenstein. Today, I have the honor of interviewing Terry Fossum. Terry, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Daniel, thanks so much for having me and for inspiring people around the world, man. I really appreciate it.
Definitely. Can you share a little bit about, who you are, your background, so the audience gets to know you a little bit?
Yeah, let's start with the real story instead of just the news clips, right? Raised in literally the poorest city in the entire United States of America, a small Texas-Mexico border town by the name of McAllen, Texas. And don't get me wrong, I love my hometown, I really do, but it could be a little rough growing up there sometimes with all the gangs and the drugs. I was on the wrong end of an assault rifle in junior high in my own back alley. In high school, my dad, was killed. And before he died, one of the neighbors came up to him and said, I just want to make sure you understand something. Your three boys, your three sons, not a single one of them will ever grow up to be anything. So, we'll talk about, all the different accolades and stuff like that have gone on. But I want to make sure before we do that everybody understands who I really am. So no matter what your background is, any self-doubts you have or anything else, look, man, we all have stuff in our past. It's what you decide to do with your future. And again, we can talk about all the accolades if you like, so they've got a better idea of that, the credibility part of it all, right?
Definitely. I think that is amazing because a lot of people that dive in that, they come from such a background, they stay stuck in that. And pretty much you're saying is you didn't grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth. And
yeah, no, I really did not. And again, not expected to grow up to be anything, man. But and that's what I found out. I absolutely agree with you, Daniel. People don't want to listen from some silver spoon imposter, right? They want to listen to somebody who's got the cuts, bruises, they've been through it, they've rolled up their sleeves and crawled back out of the deep, dark depression, so to speak. So yeah.
Can I ask you, how did you make that mindset shift when somebody said, you'll never amount to anything, and now you're this huge, successful superstar in the world of speaking and self-development? How did that come about? I mean, did you read a book? Did you have a mentor? Or was it the shift instantaneous, or did it happen over years?
It did not happen instantaneously. There is a story where I hit one of my lows we can talk about if you want. But because the path up is not a direct line, it's a curvy path up and down and up and down. But I think it's over time. And did I have a mentor? I had a lot of mentors. I filled my brain full of as much positive, most self-improvement, motivation as I could. Audios, videos, books, anything I could cram into my head, because we get enough negative. It's always coming at us. All the negative in the world is coming at us. If you want to be negative, if you want to be, stuck down there, just listen to the news and watch crappy TV shows and everything else. If you want to get out of it, if you want to be different, you got to do different. You know that. And so I was doing it the entire time, including, and I'll give a little plug, Boy Scouts of America, man. It changed my life and my brother's lives because we had a lot of mentors, a lot of positive role models in that program. Find those people in your life. If you don't have them, go out there and find them. Get the people that are dragging you down, leave them back there. Go find the ones that can build you up.
Can I ask you, how did the Scouts, make a positive impact to you? What in particular? Was it their mentorship or the training and life skills, or a combination?
Yeah, the answer is yes. They build your confidence. First of all, they give you the Scout Oath and Law. So they teach you a moral compass that you should live by. So especially in my hometown, everywhere, you've got all these negative role models. A lot of times your peers or, again, people in the movies, TVs, whatever. These guys are teaching you a different way of life than I was learning on the streets of Fifth and La Vista in McAllen, Texas. And they're teaching you not only is it okay to be those things, but that's the right thing to do. That's the way to live your life. And then they teach you the confidence. We talk about, Boy Scouts, tying knots and living in the outdoors, and stuff like that. That's all confidence builders. It's all a game with a purpose. They pull you in with the adventures and teach you the life skills and the ethics and the morals while you're doing it. So it made a huge impact on me along the way.
Definitely. So, you have a really incredible background. You were on I did a little bit of research about you. You were on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
And you were a winner on that show.
Yeah, survival show, yeah.
On the survival show. That's pretty incredible. The fact that, most people, they want to be on TV. They can't get on TV. What is on it with you? You're a winner on the show. That's pretty amazing. I mean, I don't know how many contestants there were for like the whole show. Like, I mean, it's a pretty amazing stat in itself.
Let's be clear here, Daniel. I did not want to be on that show. I did not apply to be on that show. They reached out to me, and then out of the blue, I get this email it's casting a brand new television survival reality show, prime time, pitting 10 of the top survival experts in the country against each other, while dragging along a complete novice, somebody who's never even camped out in their backyard before. And I think you'd be great. You're like, Daniel, you get an email like that out of the blue. What do you think? It's spam, right?
Yeah, right. I don't even think that's real.
It's not. No, it can't be real. Where does this come from? I checked into it and it was. But wait, there's more. They wanted me to be on this show representing all of Boy Scouts of America as an Eagle Scout in my Scoutmaster uniform, being judged, Boy Scouts being judged by the entire world, by everything I do, every breath I take, every word I say, and every action. Yeah, no pressure. And then I found out I was going to be the oldest contestant on the entire show. And the people I'm going up against are people like Special Forces guys, a Marine Scout sniper, a guy who helped take out Saddam Hussein, a fourth-degree ninja black belt that I've seen on Naked and Afraid All-Stars, except for the fuzzy parts, and people like that. And there's me, the old Scoutmaster, the oldest guy on the entire show. No pressure.
And how do you want to play being successful on that show? I mean, I didn't have a chance to watch the show yet, but
sure. Yeah, it's at the time of this recording, it's on Prime Video again. It's aired on Fox Network. It's been on Hulu, a bunch of different ones. And it's on Prime Video right now, called Kicking and Screaming, by the way, because we had a novice that we had to bring through it all, kicking and screaming. How? First of all, I prayed. I prayed a lot. And then I also, again, okay, I'm the underdog. There's zero question. All right. That's okay. I can work harder than anybody else. I may not be the most talented person. I may not be the smartest person. I'm certainly not going to be in the best shape of everybody on the show, but I can outwork anybody because that's my choice. That's within my power. How hard I work is within my power. So I found out it was going to be in the jungle. Daniel, I flew into the Amazon jungle to train with somebody for several days, deep in, not some tourist location, deep into the Amazon jungle. I pulled over 100 ticks off myself during that period of time in there. I flew into Park City to train with somebody that's really skilled at fire building. And again, I was pretty skilled. They teach a lot of cool stuff. And I do a lot of adventures around the world on my own just for fun because I'm weird. But, I went down to Houston, Texas to train under somebody who'd lived in a jungle by themselves off the land for a while. I just work harder than anybody. Again, it doesn't matter what your background is or how smart or how talented or anything you are. Outwork the next person. And by the way, Daniel and I are going to teach you how, in a later part of this podcast right now, how you can do that. We got some really cool stuff we're going to share with you. But that was my bottom line. And I had a very strong partner. We are complete opposites. That's why they put us together. But we learned how to work together despite our differences and both being the underdogs and came out on top. Wouldn't it be cool if our country and our world could learn a little bit from that little thing there, huh?
Definitely. That's really amazing. And congratulations on all your success. One of the success you had was you were a best-selling author. What was the name of your book again? What was the title?
So it's called The Oxcart Technique. It ended up being #1 best-selling book on all of the Wall Street Journal, #1 on Amazon, #1 on Barnes & Noble, best-selling book on USA Today. Very blessed because, 92% of the people who set a goal fail, 92%. And there's a reason why. Most of what we're taught about goal setting is wrong. That's why 92% of the people fail at reaching a goal. This book dispels the myths, gives a really tough way to do it. I mean, it's the truth. It's the real truth. And now the Oxcart Technique was called the biggest advancement in the science of goal setting in recent history by one of the 50 best brains in science. Very cool, man.
I mean, those two accomplishments there by most of the 99% of the world. I mean, most people have never been on a reality TV show, let alone win it. And On top of that, you're a best-selling author. I mean, most people have never even read a book, let alone become a best-selling author. But on top of that, one of your next adventures, and I'm sorry, I don't know about your timeline, was that you did a TEDx talk. You share a little bit about that. How did that how did we go from the Amazon jungle to we were inspired from the being in the jungle to say, okay, now it's time for me to do a TEDx.
Life is an adventure. Don't let anybody decide who you are. And you don't have to stay in some cubby hole, man. Go out there and just try different adventures. I'll give you another example, then we'll get to your point. I was sitting on my couch one night and I'm watching a movie. I'm going, man, I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could, would that be just wild? And I think I'll try it. So I reached out and see, this is about live without fear. Live without fear. Everybody live without fear. Okay. I reached out to a local acting coach and I said, I'll pay you for an hour of your time to tell me not to quit my day job. Be fierce, don't blow smoke where smoke should not be blown. Let me know. And she's sure, absolutely. And I go in there and she's evaluating me right away and we're talking. I'm like, okay, cool. And she goes, how are you at memorizing? I said, man, I'm terrible. I'm horrible. And she hands me a script and she goes, you got 5 minutes. Go. I'm like, you talk about intimidated. Come on, man. Because I have a terrible memory. It's horrible. And I was like, okay, I'm here. I might as well go for it. So I did my best. And she comes in 5 minutes later, not a second later, turns on a camera, puts me in front of it. Action. Oh my God. But again, live without fear, okay? It's not about facing your fears. It's about getting past your fears. Don't face your fears. Don't think, oh, I'm so scared of heights. No, look at your goal. And fast forward, I don't know, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, ended up being the best-selling, the fan favorite and, Best Supporting Actor award at the 2021 Christian Film Festival. Just crazy. But again, live without fear. Just get out there. But the TED Talk, yeah. So how did I decide to do that? Because I had a book that, it hit #1 on a lot of the charts and was going nowhere after that. The promotion was over. The crickets were chirping. Nobody's reading the book. And I'm like, man, I believe, and I had to have a real gut check. I had to have a real gut check. It's not moving. It's sitting there. Do I believe in my book? Do I believe in the Oxcart Technique? Do I believe in the concept? And my gut check was, yeah. I don't know if anybody else does. And maybe I don't believe in me because, again, you know where I come from. You know what I'm expected to do. Nothing. But I believe in my idea. So for everybody out there, we'll get back to your direct question, who's got an idea that you're thinking about, that you believe in, a concept, whatever it is, but you don't really believe in yourself, or you don't know if you could get it out there. You don't want people to laugh at whatever it is. Okay, it's not about you. And we can talk about public speaking too, if you like, but it's not about you. Stage fright is all about you. Oh, I'm afraid that I'm going to forget things. People are going to make fun of me. I'm going to die. It's going to be horrible. They're going to judge me. That's all about you. It's all about your idea. I had an idea I believed in. And TED is the world's biggest stage. The world's biggest stage. So it became my job then, if I really want to believe in my idea, if I really want to get it out to the world, then the TED stage is the place to do it. It's not advertising, anything that they try to tell you to do. You get on stage, period. So it now became my job to figure out how to do that. And it was excruciating. It was really hard. And I paid somebody thousands of dollars, one of those programs, thousands of dollars. And they taught me a little bit, but wasn't enough to get me on stage, much less make it go viral. So once it hit, it was the #2 new TED Talk in the world. It's now been named one of the 30 most impactful TED Talks of this century, which blew me away. Both of those things did. That's why I came up with a program to help people like me who have an idea but don't know how to get it out to the world, and a program that really does work. And we can talk about, if somebody wants to do a TED Talk, we can give them helpful hints, really actionable items right here on your show that they can write down, take notes on, and put to work tonight, if that's what you'd like to do.
Yeah, definitely. But So, I mean, did you do a lot of public speaking before you did the TEDx talk? Or was that like one of your first times you did a talk in front of a large audience?
Yeah, I have done a lot of public speaking. I've been very blessed. And again, scouting showed me how. As a kid, I was up in front of other kids talking. And so then when I won that reality show representing all the Boy Scouts of America, I traveled around the country speaking at fundraising events
Oh,
and helped raise millions and millions of dollars for scouting. What a absolute blessing. And I have been a speaker through business and everything else. So that's another place I'm able to help people as part of my program is how do you get over the fear of public speaking? How do you become the most confident you've ever been in your life anytime you get up on stage? What are the tricks that the real speakers use? How do you get, whether it's a TEDx stage or another stage, I've got a different program called the World Class Speaker Program. How do you get on those stages to get your message out, to make a difference in the world, create your legacy, and quite frankly, get paid really well to do it?
that's really amazing. I mean, and then for a lot of research that you also did an amazing job in, you said with the fundraising, for, I wasn't clear, was it just for the scouts you did fundraising for, or do you do it for other charities and nonprofits?
Yeah, I've done it for others as well. Of course, scouting was a really big one since, there I am kind of again, representing Boy Scouts of America on a global basis. So that was a real big one, but absolutely other charities as well. And I've got my own charities that I've been very blessed to be able to help out in different parts of the world as well. Because again, that's part of making a difference in the world. It's part of giving back. And again, just another thing to throw out there to the listeners is too many people focus on take. There was look out for number one back in, I don't know, the 70s or whatever it was. And I've always hated that. If you want to get, give. If you want to get, give. If you give and give, you'll get and get, if you know how to do it right, of course. But don't try to take without giving back. Always give back more than you get.
And it's actually amazing. I think you are like one of the most accomplished peoples that I've met.
I work hard,
Ever.
man. I work hard. That's all.
I know people that work, they have jobs that they work 60, 80 hours like a week, and that's all they do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is about working smart as well, And I think really, and I don't talk about this too much on podcasts, but since you brought it up, I think it's about taking a look, sit back. You've got some crazy job you're working really hard at. Sit back, look at the end of your life. Okay. You're on your deathbed. What do you want to be thinking back to? When people are talking about your life at your funeral, what do you want them talking about? And if it's, man, that person worked really hard at their job, they were so dedicated to their job, and that's about it, you know what? You're on the right track. But if not, if there's something else that you want to do with your life, if there's some difference you want to make in the world, if there's something else you want to be known for, then you need to reevaluate the path you're on. Because it's not always about just working hard. It's about having the right strategy and working hard towards that. And that's where I try to come in for people, whether it's through my viral stage program, it's about the TED Talks, whether it's about the world-class speaking program, not about TED Talks, about getting on other stages to get your message out there and help you sell books, get coaching clients, etc. Or a new platform I've never talked about on a podcast yet because it's not coming out quite yet, but it's going to be an amazing world that you can be part of. I've gotten real into AI. I'm working at AI at a cognitive level higher than 99% of the population right now, just because, again, I'm working hard. And the programs that I'm putting together are earth shattering and will help people really focus in on what's important to them in different aspects, not just wealth, because that's nifty, it is, but health, relationships, you're creating your legacy. And that will be coming out soon, but not ready to launch that one quite yet.
Oh, sounds very exciting. Have you ever taken an IQ test before? I'm just curious.
Yeah. No.
I don't know if they and some people say that they have exceptional IQ. You just seem to be like ahead of the curve in a lot of these areas,
If I am, I'll consider it a blessing. I have very little pride. I don't think anybody can say they have no pride. But to me, if I'm going to give you just Terry's philosophy and everybody can take it or leave it, I don't care. You believe what you want to believe. Fantastic. To me, if that's true, then I thank God for it because it's a gift from him. I wasn't born this way, or I was born this way. So I had nothing to do with whatever IQ I was given or that I've got a great work ethic. It was all given to me as a gift from God. That's the way I look at it. So I thank him for it. In fact, the first thought out of my head every single morning, the first thought is thank you, God, for the gifts you've given me. Please help me use them for yourself, not me.
Oh, it's amazing. So it's like a gratitude, like a big part of your life.
Oh man, Daniel, without question, every single day for every single thing. And we better be, you really better be thankful because it can all go away like that. Your intelligence, your looks, your family, those people close to you, your life, anything can be taken away in an instant. Be thankful for it. And in my book, you don't do it for this reason, but if you're thankful, you're given more. If you're not thankful, I don't know about that.
Yeah, some people believe in law of attraction. I don't know if you believe in like the law of attraction, you can actually attract things. And they said one of the key ingredients is having gratitude. The more gratitude you have for your life, then you will attract more like abundance.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And I have a little bit of a different philosophy on the law of attraction. I think it's been bastardized, quite frankly, to the point where there's some people out there saying, all you have to do is think about it and it's going to happen. No, it's not. You're going to have to work for it. All right. But the more you focus on something, the more you see something. The more that I focus in the good in people, the more I see the good in people. The more I focus on the good things in my life, the more I see the good things in my life. And the less I see the bad things, the less I see the bad people, the less I see the bad situations. So therefore, it builds me up. And if you're building yourself up, then you're able to accomplish more and make a difference more and more and help people more and more. So I think that from that standpoint, the law of attraction is 100% true in its pure form. And I think gratitude is without question a part of that.
And so I want to talk to you about what you just mentioned. You said, things just don't happen. I haven't been on a TEDx before, so I don't know like the whole process going on. But from what I heard from a lot of people, it's difficult because I've talked to a few other people that are speakers, but they haven't been on a TEDx. They're telling me it's very difficult to get on. Again, I'm only saying this from hearsay because I haven't actually applied, but they said it's very competitive to be on a TEDx, and also you have to have something unique and different to talk about. You can't talk about something that like everybody else is talking about. Again, I don't know if it's true, but I mean, if it is, it sounds like very difficult to be on. Right?
It is, especially if you don't know the inside secrets and if you don't have the right strategy. Because let's face it, hundreds of people or thousands of people are trying to get on that same stage you're trying to get on, and for good reason. I mean, again, TEDx is the biggest stage in the world. It's instant credibility. You're right away a leader in your industry. You are an industry expert because you're a TEDx speaker on that. What a difference. If you're trying to sell a coaching program, if you're trying to become a speaker, if you're trying to sell more books, if you're just trying to sell more product or service, whatever it is, it's one thing if you're yet another person trying to sell those things, or if you're a TEDx speaker, whole different ballgame. So yeah, it is absolutely hard because the people who want to really get ahead and make a difference and get their idea out to the world, they're really trying for those spots. It's the ones that know the inside secrets and know the strategy that get the spots.
Without giving away your whole secret sauce, I know that's like part of your offer and your program. Can you maybe give people who are either like coaches or salespeople or leaders, like maybe a tip on getting on with TEDx?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to give everybody a tool as well that I'm going to teach you how to do this. I'm going to tell you what to do, and I'm going to give you a tool that's going to do it for you. But that being said, still listen because I want to make sure that you know this information as well. Okay, here's the deal. Look at it from the event planner standpoint, whether you're talking about regular speaking gigs or a TED Talk. Look at it from the event planner standpoint. They have to fill seats. They need to get butts in seats, okay? They're promoting their own program. And let me give a distinction, by the way. If you hear a TED versus a TEDx, TED is the main place that that TED happens at the national place. TEDx is the localized, so TEDx Spokane, TEDx Copenhagen, whatever. Each one of those has an event organizer and a small board. And each one of them is, for the most part, struggling to get people to attend so they can pay for the event. So they need ideas that they can promote out where people in the area, in the city, are going to go, oh man, I need to go hear that. But if it's the same thing they've heard a million times, nobody interested. Leadership is important. Your health is your wealth, whatever it is. They've heard it a million times, man. So you need to give them something that makes them do like the confused doggy look. Huh? If you're not seeing this on YouTube, just picture a doggy kind of looking at you cockeyed. Okay, that makes them go, wait, what? That catches their attention. It has to be sound countercultural, counterintuitive. It needs to sound like nothing they've ever heard before, but want to. So, in fact, I'll give you one idea. Let's see, where's this book right here? One of my clients is Larry Namer. He's the founder of E-Entertainment TV. So the guy's a billionaire, right? And we've all heard of E-Entertainment. So, he doesn't rub shoulders with the stars. The stars rub shoulders with Larry, all right? And he had a book called Off Script. So why doing things differently can make all the difference. Now that makes you kind of go, wait, what? And that was pretty good for starters. But we fed his book, his ideas, into this AI that I'm about to give everybody for free. And it came out with some ideas that got him booked immediately. Because it's all about, to get their attention, you got to start with the right title. Now, for everybody that's going, Matt, give me the AI. Okay, here it is. Ideascore.ai. Ideascore.ai. It's free. You can go there right now, no tricks, and you can put your information in there, and it's going to help you decide if your idea will make it to a TEDx stage. And if it's not perfect yet, it's going to refine it for you. It's going to give you 5 alternatives and an idea score that will give you what's your percent chance of them looking at your thing. Now, there's still no guarantees, right? And that's just the tip of the iceberg, but it's a huge help. And then if you're interested from there, it'll take you into a program that's going to teach you how do you write it. And we can talk about it a little bit if you want right now, or we can talk about getting over stage fright too, whatever you want to talk about here. But when you're crafting your TED Talk, there's a very specific way you really need to do it, because not all TED Talks are equal. In fact, not all venues are equal. That my program helps you find the best venue that not only will fit your topic, but has a better chance of getting you booked and has a better chance of making it actually get out there. Because some TED Talks sit there and get a dozen views. You don't just...
I want to talk to you about that, because I've talked to people that said they've been on TEDx and they were like, nothing happened. They were like, I was on TEDx, and they're still doing their 9 to 5 or their basic coaching, and she's still struggling to get any bookings or...
Yeah. Honestly, that's most of them. Again, it's all about strategy. You've got to have the right strategy of how to get it out there. I ended up, and again, my background, I'm not trying to be too cool. You know where I come from, right? And it ended up with well over 1 million views. I don't even know what the latest count is now. Come on, man. But that means it helped a lot of people. And one of those people who really helped was me, But you've got to have the right strategy to get it out there. Now, so how do you do that? First of all, it's got to be a fantastic speech, and it has to be crafted in a certain way that will not just get everybody's attention, keep their attention. Listen, everybody, listen, this is important, but causes an emotional response. People don't take action on fact. They take action on emotion. You think about it. You can see all the bar charts and graphs and everything in the world, and you don't care, right? It's not going to make any difference until people have an emotional response on it. Emotion, not fact, is the driver of all action. Emotion, not fact, is the driver of all action. They have to have an emotional response to it. And if they do, then their friends will too. So they should refer it to their friend. Man, you got to see this TED Talk. This was amazing. You got to check this one out. And that's how things happen. Now, within my coaching course, and it's not just a coaching course, it truly is a transformation experience. That's what it's called, the viral stage. because it is a viral stage if it's done right, transformation experience. And this helps you write your TED Talk so it follows the exact parameters. How do you get their attention right away? Start on a huge high, bring them down to a low where they go, oh my gosh, and they lean into you, and then build them back up and give them the information that they need to overcome the challenge you've given them. And at the end, bam, make it where they can't wait to jump up on their feet and applaud. And then it gives you all of your promotional materials. It writes your press releases for you. It writes your emails for you, your social media for you, because you've given the TED Talk. That's only the beginning. Some people, that's all they want to do is give a TED Talk. It's their life goal. Fantastic. We can get you there. Not a problem. But for the rest of us, we're doing it for a reason, whether it's to get our idea out there that we believe in and we want to change the world, we want to leave our legacy, or whether it's to help us get those coaching clients or get those speaking gigs or whatever it is. And the footage that you get from being on that TEDx stage, because it's professionally recorded, if you matched with the right one, again, we help you do that. Gold. Your website has your TEDx speaking on it. Any email, any promotional, everything, your speaker reel. You now have professional footage of you on a TEDx stage. You're now way a cut above if you do it right.
Wow, that's really amazing. And I want to ask you about like what you were saying, because you said like the TEDx isn't for everybody. Is it for people that are beginner speakers, or is it really for people that have been like around the block? They've done a lot of speaking gigs already, and now it's like, doing it for 5 or 10 years. Now it's time to climax to TEDx.
No, thanks for asking that, Daniel. I appreciate that. No, it truly can be for everybody. Again, if you're coached correctly, if you've got the right strategy. Because for one thing, if you look at mine, and everybody can look up Terry Fossum TEDx, F-O-S-S-U-M, TEDx. You can Google that, and you'll see it. And you'll see, as you won't be surprised, I'm an energetic speaker, right? I've been doing it for a while. I'm all over that stage. They say stay on the red dot. Yeah, it's hard for me to do. And I'm everywhere. But guess what? Not every audience wants that. Not every audience member will relate to that. What they want is authentic. They want real. Now, again, you must be strategic, and I take you through all the getting over the fears of public speaking, making you the most powerful you could possibly be before you go up on that stage, all the tricks and all the techniques that lead up to it. But you don't have to have a background in it. It's not about you. It's about your idea. We just help you present that idea in the best possible manner. That's all. But yeah, absolutely beginner, we can do it. We can absolutely do it. And you're no longer a beginner. Now you're launched.
That's really amazing. So, I mean, you were telling us, like a lot of people say that one of the biggest fears is the fear of public speaking. So can we give some tips to people that maybe either they're fear of just speaking in general, or maybe they're afraid of being a TEDx talk? Because some people think that, it's like, above, I can never be on TEDx.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing this. And you're right. The number one fear in the world is public speaking. I love what Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian, said about that. Wait a minute. The number one fear is public speaking. Number two is death. That means that most people at a funeral would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy. And it's true, though. So many people are afraid of it, or at least, get this, they think they are. But in truth, they're not. They haven't looked at it right yet. You're about to. For every listener, take note. You're going to get over a lot of it right now. This is one of the things, I've done this around the world. I've done this at the MBA level. I love doing this. Okay, first of all, you may think you cannot speak with passion. Maybe you didn't cry when they shot Old Yeller. Or maybe you don't scream at your TV when your favorite sports team is on. Or maybe you do. But the truth is, you have spoken passionately. If you question that, ask your children. Odds are, if you have children, you have spoken passionately to them before. If you don't have children, ask your spouse. If you're not married, ask any significant other you've had or anybody you've ever been pissed off at. You have spoken passionately. What's the difference between discussing with your children that they are going to clean up their room, they are going to go to bed, and they're going to do all this within 10 minutes versus getting up on that stage and sharing your idea with the world? Okay, here's the difference. You made it when you're going to go up on that stage, you make it all about you. When you're talking to your children, it ain't about you. It ain't about, am I going to get the words right? How are they going to judge me? Am I going to look stupid? Are they going to hate my idea? It's not about any of that. The only thing that matters is your audience is going to do what you want them to do. Does that make sense so far, Daniel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. So that's the deal. Don't make it about yourself. Again, we kind of talked about this a little bit already. It ain't about you, okay? You can speak passionately. You can get your point across. Stop worrying about you and get up there about your idea, because your job isn't to make the audience think you're the coolest person ever and you're amazing and look at them, they're fantastic. That's not your job. Your job is to get them emotional about your idea and get them to take action on your idea. If you truly care about your idea, if you think it's the right thing to do, if you think it can help people, if you think it can make a difference in the world, whatever reason you're doing it for, then forget everything else. Focus on that. And I take everybody during the training through an exercise that I teach that not only does that, but makes them the most powerful they've ever been in their life. Every time they speak, not just on stage, though certainly on stage, every time they go to make a sales call, any phone call, talk to a board of directors, ask for a raise, ask somebody out, whatever it might be. It's something I do every time before I speak. If you're in the room with me and they're doing the introduction, Terry Fossum is the best person ever, blah, 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 blah. I'm not even in the room mentally at that point. I'm doing this exercise that makes all the difference in the world. And I love teaching that both within the program. It's a video program, but also I do weekly group coaching calls, and we go through a lot of that. I've even done it in front of a live audience of hundreds and hundreds of people. Just pull somebody from the audience and, okay, let's do this. It's a lot of fun. It's very cool.
That's cool. And you also mentioned before, we were talking about before, a lot of people that even do the TEDx, it doesn't want to go anywhere. They'll get like just a few views. Can you maybe give our audience maybe a suggestion? Do you have to, are you saying you have to proactively market your own TEDx talk after you do it? Is that this and there? Like you said,
Yes.
You have your own strategy of how to do that.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely you do, okay? It'll get posted, and depending on the size of the venue and how much they do their promotion, they'll do some promotion of it. By the way, it's posted on YouTube. That's where they're all posted to begin with. You can pull it down and use it yourself, but that's where it's at. And yes, a lot of them just sit there. If you look at views, it's not a whole lot. Just like in pretty much everything in life, you got to work at it, man. You have to promote it. But the beautiful news is, again, that's just a strategy. That's just knowing how to do it and taking the action on it, right? So as long as you know how to do that and get help, then you can do it too. That's why, again, why I wanted to put this program together, not for all the silver spoon folk out there, although they can use it too, but for people like me, that, wait a minute, I don't come from money. I don't come from influence. I don't come from anything like that, but I got an idea I believe in. I wanted to have them not have to go through the pain I went through on my TED Talk and promoting it and everything, building it. I wanted them to have an advantage that I didn't have. And one of them is I have several AIs in there. And I mentioned, very blessed to be working with AI at a very high level, more than at a cognitive level, higher than 99% of the population. So I've got AIs in there that do a lot of this work for you. They're going to write your press releases again for you. They're going to write your emails, your social media for you. Now, it's not perfect, and I'll never say it is, okay? AI is still evolving, but it's amazing. I was just doing some work with it just before we started recording, and I'm just blown away, man. I can't write like this, and I'm a writer, right? It crafts speeches that I could ever dream of crafting, and I'm pretty good at it. And I wanted to put these tools in everybody's hands. So that's what's there for.
So when you talk about also, you've been a leader in the Scouts as well as your own organizations. How do you define leadership today? Because hasn't that, what people consider leader evolved?
Yeah. And I was very blessed to be in the military as well. I was the executive officer for an entire group of nuclear B-52 bombers during the Cold War and Gulf War I. So yeah, leadership is a huge deal. I'd say, and leadership today has indeed evolved. I was just about to go into an event at one point, and a social media star stopped me outside. Spot interview, right? All of a sudden, boom, I'm on their channel or whatever. And their question to me, and it wasn't a direct leadership question, but you'll see how it fits. If there was 3 words that people remembered you by, 3 words that you want to share with everybody, what would it be? And they're expecting, something about follow your dreams, work hard, whatever, something like that. I said, here's the 3 words I want them to remember me, to think of when they think of me. He truly cared. He truly cared. That's it right there. Listen, if people don't believe you care about them, they will not follow you. If they don't believe you care about the things they care about, your goal of whatever you're leading, because you're not just leading to get numbers, you're leading for a purpose. If you build a fire inside of somebody, underneath somebody, they will stomp it out the second you walk away. Build a fire under somebody, they will stomp it out the second you walk away. You build a fire inside of them, and it'll burn forever. You can only do that if you truly care. And that brings us to the ethics. They have to be able to trust you. If they don't trust you, they will not follow you. If they don't trust you, they know you don't truly care. And remember, it's always about emotion. If you want somebody to take action, it's always about building up that emotional, honestly, authentically component within them. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah, totally. Thank you very much. But how do you, and it seems like it's harder now to build trust than ever before. Cause everything's online on social media. People see these videos, at least like on YouTube, TikTok, and so many, especially if like talking about with AI. I mean, there's a lot of good uses of AI, but also people create fake content.
Man, it's true.
Yeah. So how do you build trust? And we live in a world now where it seems, at least half the things you see online and social media are not true.
At least.
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely true. And I think the answer to that is great news for most of us. Just be real. Be authentic. Screw up. Be goofy. Be stupid. Be whatever it is. Just be you, because you're good enough. And if people see somebody that's just too polished or, just too perfect or something, they're not real, or I can't relate to them. I'm not like them. So just be authentic. And if somebody doesn't trust you, just give them reason to trust you and never give them reason not to. If they still don't from there, can't help them. Move on. Work with the people that get you. And for the folks that don't get you, don't try to convince them. Leave them behind.
So I wanted to also ask you about behind you is a picture of you on the Los Angeles magazine. Can you tell us, what is that all about? Why are you on the picture? Do you live in Los Angeles?
No. Yeah. And unbelievably, they chose me as their person of the year for 2024. And yeah, you'd have to ask them why, really. But I think what got their attention was indeed what got their attention to begin with was, winning the reality show. And again, did a bit of acting and a few different things like that. So I got, I think, on their radar screen. And then, they looked into me more, I guess, and some of the things that we're all doing. And again, it's not just me. We've got, I'm always working with great people because you can't do anything by yourself. And so, I guess that's why. And then, another one called me their most impactful and visionary personality to look for in 2025, which I thought was really nice of them too. So, yeah.
So obviously you've been very successful in many different areas and many things that you've tried, which is, I still think that's really amazing. Are there any, can you share with us, what are some of the keys to success? Do you have any daily habits, routines that you can share with us that help contribute to your success? Some people, they say the first thing they do every day is they meditate, or you write gratitude statements. And so you think of this. Are there certain daily habits to share with us that really help with your success?
Yeah, absolutely. I fail. Probably every single day. I fail. I screw up. I do something stupid. I fail. But I never quit. And too often we think it's trite when people just say, never give up. But that's the secret, man. But also embrace failure. Learn to love a failure. I love failure. When I hit yet another failure, fantastic. And here's why. Every single person on the face of the earth in history and off of the earth who's accomplished anything of significance has failed and failed. Too often when we're failing, we think, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. Maybe this isn't God wants for me. Maybe I'm trying to tell something. I'm tired. We think it's actually a roadblock when it's not. It's not a roadblock. It's not a stumbling stone. It's a stepping stone. If you are failing, and for everybody listening or watching this, listen to me, please listen. If you are failing, I don't want you to go, oh, that's terrible. I want you to go, yes. I want you to rejoice. I want you to go, yes, I just failed. I must be on the road to success, because you truly are. If you're not failing, you're not on any road at all.
That's really great advice. I mean, a lot of people, they give up, they fail. Okay, this isn't for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe, man, I must not supposed to be doing this. God's trying to tell me something, or I'm just tired, or I failed again. Yeah, I better look for, one door closed, another window open, something like that. No, bash down the door, keep going, forget it, and go through another window and another window. Don't wait to succeed in one thing, man. Try 12 different things at the same time. Why not? It's more fun that way.
So speaking about failure, I mean, can you talk about the time when you felt like you hit rock bottom? Like, how do you overcome that situation and turn things around?
Okay, yeah, sure can. And this is actually part of my TED Talk and the birth of the Oxcart Technique, because I got into business. And again, everybody thinks it's the road to success is a straight line. No. And about my background now, and that I'm never supposed to grow up to be anything. And I got into business, direct sales actually, and I was terrible at it. And I failed, and I tried, and I failed, and I tried, and I failed, and I tried, and I failed. And I finally got to the point, Daniel, where I just couldn't fail anymore. And I did give up. And I walked into the bathroom, and I looked at myself in the mirror. So I guess he's right. You're never going to grow up to be anything. And wait a minute. No, for the sake of the memory of my dad, if nothing else, I refuse to let that son of a gun be right. It ain't going to happen. No. And I got up and I brushed myself off and I got back at it. But I got back at it from a different standpoint. We always talk about positive visualizations, which are important. They're good, but they're not enough. And we're going to talk about why. We're going to hit some science here in a second here, folks, some Nobel Prize winning science in a second here. All right. We talk about the dream. We talk about the carrot and the stick. Okay. And all those things aren't enough to keep us going. And here's why. If you're going to accomplish anything, you have to get out of your comfort zone, right? Here's the problem. It's comfortable. That's why it's called that. And we want to stay there. And here's the important thing. We will do more to avoid pain than to go toward pleasure. That's something called prospect theory. It won the Nobel Prize when it was applied to economics. Prospect theory taught us we'll do more to avoid pain than to go toward pleasure. So therefore, no matter how much positive visualization we do, no matter how many fields and bunnies and flowers and rainbows and all that kind of stuff, it's not enough to get us through the pain of getting out of our comfort zone. That's why 92% of the population fails right there. All this stuff on goal setting that they're teaching us is not enough. Positive visualization, important, but not enough. So what works? Okay, here's the deal. Here's what happened to me. I got back up. I started getting back to work, not from the standpoint of I'm going to be rich someday, right? Because I can't believe that. I know where I came from. I know me. I have my self-doubts. I have my past. I have all of that. That's not going to do it for me. It's not going to get me out of my comfort zone on a consistent daily basis. What got me out of my comfort zone was avoiding the pain. Never grow up to be anything. That son of a gun will be, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, and my dad would not be proud of me. So when I got back up, got back to work, I still hit the same setbacks and disappointments and no's and you're an idiot and everything else as before. But now I had something not to pull me out of that, but to push me out of it. Anytime that happened, like, I don't care. I just failed. I don't care because he's not going to be right. And it kept me going. So what the Oxcart technique is, it's carrot and the stick. Sure, I put up on my board over there my positive visualization. I call it my success scenario. How great it's going to be when I reach my goal, all that stuff we hear about. But also, I put off to the left my failure scenario, the thing that's going to kick me in the butt when I try to slack off. What happens if I don't reach my goal? What does life look like then? And it's amazing what that does. And in between the two, I put my bridge, the action plan, the daily action plan that I will take every single day that makes the difference between my failure scenario on the left and my success scenario on the right. Not just in your business or your financial goals. Over 50% of the marriages fail. There's a reason why. Most of the population is overweight. 74% of the diets fail. There's a reason why. With this Oxcart Technique, and you can see the book, the Oxcart Technique, and read more about this. I give examples in there and everything. Again, it worked out pretty well. But that's what happened to me when I hit my lowest point that you asked about, is it wasn't the positive visualizations, the manifestations, et cetera, that got me out of that. You can't be pulled out of it. You got to be pushed out of it. And that's what happened to me. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Oh, that's really good advice. I appreciate you sharing that with our audience.
You bet.
I mean, this is like in the early part of the conversation that you're all about adventure. So the next question to you is, what's been one of the most wildest or unexpected thing that happened to you that maybe, do you have any other interesting stories? And said, no, that never happened and it did happen, or...
Yeah, there's a couple lessons we'll tell a couple of adventure stories here and a couple lessons for everybody. So I'm sitting here at my desk one day and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it's time for an adventure. So I pull up my maps. Like, there's a little town way up in the Arctic Circle called Inuvik. That's interesting. Wait, there's one way above that called I couldn't pronounce it. It's Tuktoyaktuk. I had no idea. There's no road that goes there. I think I'll go there. So I call up my wife, my poor wife, and I go, I'm going to do a solo backpacking journey deep into the Arctic Circle. And she goes, wait, what? Yeah, I'm going to do that. She said, when? Oh, I think Thursday. So I don't have a plan. I've got an SUV that I got really good tires on, got some transmission work on, packed half of the back with gear, and the other half was for me to sleep in, and took off within, it was like 3 days, something like that, took off. Now, no real plan, right? If I decided to plan the whole thing out, I'd never do it. Any fears, any self-doubts, forget about it. Let's go out there and have an adventure. Let's go fail, whatever. And I'll do, long story short on this one. So I get up there to Inuvik. I befriend a Inuit by the name of Kailek and talk him into dropping me off on the permafrost so I can just go have a little backpacking adventure. So when I come off of that, now he respects me. And, I'm not just who's this white guy that just showed up out of nowhere, right? And he respects me. So he goes, I was about to go out with some of my friends on a caribou hunt so we could fill our freezers, and prepare for the winter. Would you like to go with us? Go on a caribou hunt with the Inuits deep into the Arctic Circle. Yeah, I'm going to go yes on this one, right? And there's stories after that, including how, I'll tell that portion very quickly. But, the bottom line to that one is, guys, don't wait. Don't hold back. Don't worry. Don't wonder. It's not ready, aim, fire. Ready, fire, aim. Get out there and do it. And you never know what adventures will come your way. You just have to be open to them. And actually, I'll skip, for your time's sake, for the podcast, I'll skip the rest of that one, how I almost died on that one. And we'll skip to Death Valley. Different adventure, Death Valley. There is a reason they call it Death Valley. Daniel, would you believe that? So I'm backpacking alone. And again, before you get all the people saying, oh, he's an idiot, he's stupid. I get it. Okay. You never go out alone. I know what I'm doing is stupid. I get that. I'm highly trained. It's what I do for fun. Okay. But it can be dangerous. I've got about a 70-pound backpack on, and I am way out because of water. You got to have a lot of water. It's Death Valley. And I'm way out where people don't go, and nobody knows where I'm at. And I'm climbing up this cliff. Now, here's the deal. The dirt there, because it's so hot, so dry, the dirt is weirder than anything I've seen. It just crumbles. My foothold lets loose. The rock that I was using for my foothold, it's gone. So I leap for a handhold. Now that's degrading. It's crumbling down. I'm looking down below me, down the cliff. And I'm going, things just got really bad. Because if I even just break my leg, I'm dead. Nobody knows where I'm at. It's Death Valley. So okay, we got to make some decisions very quickly here. Again, I've got about a 70-pound pack on. It's going down there. Question is, am I in it when it does? So I've got to try to unstrap from this thing, and I'm trying to hold on while that handhold's degrading, and I'm quickly trying to unstrap and get rid of this. I finally get the pack off, and I'm watching it go down below me with all of my water and my shelter, my emergency locator beacon, everything. It's gone. But I'm able to then climb to safety and go back and get my backpack and see what was left later on. The moral of that story, everybody has baggage. Listen, Daniel, I know you do, right? You do. You're a human being. You do. Every listener. Yeah, absolutely. Every listener here has baggage. You've got self-doubts. You've got excuses. You've got fears. You've got people who are holding you down, who are putting you down. You got some things that happened to you. Maybe you've got some things you did. You got to let go of the baggage. You can't let that baggage pull you down any longer, because not only will you never reach the top, whatever that means for you, but you're going to go down to the bottom with it. And you can't let that happen. Release the baggage, whatever it is, starting right now.
Thank you so much, Terry. We're kind of like getting close to the end of the podcast. So I want to be clear about something, because you mentioned earlier on that like you help people get on TEDx and help them with the training. Can you give us a little bit more details about your offering? Is it a program? Do you do one-on-one? Is it like group coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. The TEDx program called The Viral Stage is, first of all, it's online. It's going to be video coaching. It's going to be the AIs that I talked a little bit about. There's actually more in there I didn't even talk about. And then weekly group coaching with me. And we have a lot of fun on those. We help people through. It's not just answer your questions, but we do a lot of work with people on those calls, because you get to hear somebody else get through their fears or talk about their talk, or they're trying to get it out there or whatever. So it's all working together on that. That's a great one. The Viral Stage. And again, that's ideascore.ai is where you can start with that one. Now, the world-class speaking program, right now, I'm launching that out, targeting authors, because there's a lot of authors like me that have a book and it's not going anywhere. It's not getting done what they want it to get done. So all of the promotional stuff I've got for that program right now is targeted to authors. So authors, if you want to go to book2impact.com, you're going to see something where you can upload your book. It's my AI. You can upload your book, and it's going to pull the message out of there that's stage ready and give you who your target audience would be. And then that goes into the program. We don't have time to talk about that program. It's off the charts, and you can end up actually on my own speaker program, which is kind of cool. But they can check that out. If you're a non-author going, wait a minute, what about me? What about me? You know what? Reach out to me. In fact, I'll just give you my email address, tlfossum@icloud.com. And we can talk about what you've got going on and see if we can help you make a difference in the world. Get paid to do it really well. It's crazy what they pay speakers. It's insane. It's insane what they pay speakers to make a difference in the world, get your message out there, and help you get those coaching clients or whatever it is you want to do. So that's what's going on. And follow me on any social media. I'm out there. My own podcast, the Comeback Chronicles podcast, and of course my TED Talk at Terry Fossum TEDx. Just search that, or anywhere. You'll find me. I can't hide these days.
Terry, we're kind of like getting to the close of our podcast for today. Are there any final words you'd like to share before we kind of wrap up?
Yeah, you don't have to be perfect. You just got to get out there. Just get out there. All that crap about I'm not good enough. You know my background, okay? You know my background now. There's a lot of worse backgrounds, and I get that. Leave that baggage behind. Believe in yourself. Believe in your message, even if you don't believe in yourself. And use the time that God has given you on this earth to make a difference, whatever that means for you. That's it, my friend. Again, Daniel, thanks so much for having me and all the difference you're making in the world. I really appreciate you.
Oh, Terry, I can't thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing all about your experiences. And I wish we had more time. I would have loved to hear more about your really exciting stories. You definitely have plenty of things to talk about. You're definitely not a boring person. So I absolutely love talking with you. And, congratulations on your success and accomplishment. It's absolutely amazing, especially you said like where you came from. That was super spoon. Goes to show all those people that's saying, oh, I wasn't born rich, so I can't do
Yeah,
anything. He proves all those people wrong.
absolutely. Now, everybody else, get out there and prove everybody else wrong. Go get it.
All right, Terry, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Best of luck with your endeavors, your programs.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that very much. And same to you, huh?